Glory to Ukraine, glory to brave Ukrainian army. We will definitely win. Ukraine stands, Ukraine's fighting for the whole democratic world against terrorist Russia state. July, a lot of roses still blooming, but of course a lot of them are to be pruned already. And I have started this process. It takes pretty long on my side because I have very many of them, or more than 200 bushes, and of course the roses and garden. This is not my main professional main deal. I have usual work obligations, so this is only my hobby, so that's why process is pretty long. But I want to show you some beauties which are still on the peak, or at least showing very nice picture. They are pretty floristic still, they are pretty attractive still. And let's start from hot cocoa. This is Floribunda from Tom Carruth, if I am not mistaken, and I have planted it back in 2020. And of course this is its fourth season in my garden, and it is this rose, this bush, this variety is very prominent because of different reasons. First of all, because of color. You can see how impressive color is, how deep it is. This is combination of different shades of terracotta and other brownish like deep palette shades, and in addition it could be changing based on the stage of blooming. At the end this color is lighter, but not light, it's just lighter. And during the blooming, during the life on the bush, it became more intense, more deep, and still very interesting. Yeah, it's time to prune it already. Another beauty, I have also shown it to you, but I have to show it more and more because this is Purple Emperor, and you could see how deep color it is. Now we have pretty cloudy day today, although it was forecasted up to 30 degrees Celsius, and luckily these clouds, they help to overcome this heat, overcome this temperature in much more easier way. And of course this is good for flowers, for roses namely, because a lot of variety, their petals, they are influenced by very heat, very sunny conditions and sunny rays. You see this deep color, although it's in middle of the day while I am filming this video, and based on such conditions, cloudy weather, you could see the depths of this color, and how nice it is, how interesting petals are. And this is exactly transferred, my camera transferred exactly this color, exact match, so you can see how it is in real life. And I must admit that this variety, it is not influenced, namely its petals, they are not influenced by sunny conditions. They are still showing good state of the petals. One more beauty, brilliant pink Iceberg. First I have planted in my garden Burgundy ice, and this variety, brilliant pink Iceberg, we have pink Iceberg as well. They are from in different ways, but they are all have Iceberg in initial as initial variety in their creation, and they are all similar in the form of the bush, in the form of a flower. And this one, brilliant pink Iceberg, it's interesting because of the color of its stamens. You can see they are deep and intense red, even beetroot red, something like that. And color of the petals, it's also changing. It could be lighter, but of course first when it is only starting to open the flowers, like this one or this one, you can see how deep and intense pink is. Then it became more lighter, pretty lighter than this one. And then it became lighter and lighter and lighter, and at the end, or almost at the end of its blooming, of the life of each separate flower, it will be very, very light pink, rosy pink, something like that. But at all stages, I must admit, according, of course, to my taste, according to my expectations and my preferences, I love the color at each stage of the blooming of the flower, and all of these shades, they are very attractive to me. Bush itself and variety itself, it's susceptible to disease, and you can see, I think, signs of the diseases on your screen, but yeah, what to do? Not everything we could cope with, unfortunately. Or Astrid Gräfin from Hardenberg, not sure whether it's popular abroad. Here it's very popular, and you know, of course, when we see its flowers on the pictures, or even in videos, and even in my videos, I have videos of this beauty from season to season, from year to year. But and on that videos, of course, I film it mainly in attractive state, but it has opposite side, dark side of the flower of this variety. It's very non-attractive. Must admit that it is very dependent on the weather conditions, and of course, humid weather, long-lasting humidity, pretty cold nights, pretty cold days, and mornings, morning dew. All of this, it does not work well for the beauty and for the state, for the attractiveness of this bush. But when we have at least a small window, a small period of pretty polite sun, pretty not so heat, not so very warm conditions, pretty dry conditions without any long-lasting humidity, then it shows this bush, I mean variety, Astrid Gräfin von Hardenberg, it shows so amazing colors, so amazing attractiveness, so amazing play of color, combination of color, because as you can see in the middle, in the center of flowers, it is pretty lighter than outer petals are, and it may, during some weather conditions, it may even provide effect that it is lightening from the center of the flower. Of course, not all the flowers on this bush are attractive still, but under these conditions, cloudy conditions, I had to show you how beautiful this could be. And yeah, this is its not peak already, but it's already descending. I must admit, I have to cut this, to prune or cut by summer cutting. Yeah, this variety and this bush namely, but still it showed me a very nice state today. I am impressed, and from year to year I think what to do with this variety, whether I should get rid of it, and then when it shows me even bunch of flowers of such attractive ones, I forgive it. I forgive every naughtiness of this variety, and want to proceed it and to leave it in my garden. And one more beauty, Hansestadt Rostock. And while you will be watching this beauty, because it's very impressive bush, this bush and this variety, it's on peak or almost at the peak of its blooming for the first wave of summer 2024. I of course will tell you things which you even could not believe, and you would first of all tell me, no, I don't believe you. But this is our reality, and you could fact check this very easily. This is already reachable information. This night and this morning, Russia terrorist state, they attacked Ukraine by combined attack, by using different types of missiles and by using different types of drones, and they have attacked a couple of cities: Dnipro city, Kryvyi Rih city, Pokrovsk city. This is Donetsk region, and Kyiv, capital of Ukraine. And this just listen and just try to understand. They attacked in Kyiv. They directly and intentionally they attacked one of the main hospital in Ukraine, because this is a capital, and in capital we have, of course, very big hospitals, and one of the main. And that hospital dedicated only to kids, solely to the kids, to the children, to the toddlers, to the babies. So every or each stage of the kids, they were there. So they solely, intentionally attacked by missile, by destructive missile, that hospital. As of now, we know, we were informed that we have 20 people dead in all these morning attacks, and of course there are still many ruins, and our services, 911 and other services, emergency ones, they are working on the reaching people, on the trying to find the people, kids, children, babies and their mothers under the ruins of that hospital. So you could ask how that creatures, that Russians, that killers, that terrorists, how they could be on the same earth with us, with democracy, with democratic people, with elegant and etc., with educated, highly educated people. How could this happen, and how long, and for how long world will be just watching this as a reality show? Yeah, I could imagine that this is very nice reality show, of course, this is very real for you, but for us this is not show, this is tragedy from day to day, from night to night, every day. And some cities like Kharkiv, Sumy, Kherson, Mykolaiv and much more, of course, Donetsk region, they are attacked daily, not daily, but couple times a day, per day and per night, with different types of weapons, and without any serious punishment or sanctions from the European, from the North Atlantic organization. Unfortunately, you're still watching and waiting for no, we do not understand what, and what destructions, how many people, how many kids could and should die before the world starts to do real actions on punishment of the terrorists and help us to win in this war. Because you see, there is only one way for us to win, because if Russia will lose, we do not make genocide on them. Of course, they will live as they have lived before, prior to this full-scale unprovoked war. But if we will lose, they will make another genocide to us, because they are doing genocide now, and you could even imagine what will they do if they overcome us. So yeah, Hansestadt Rostock, this is beauty. If I'm not mistaken, this is either shrub or floribunda, and from Tantau, if I'm not mistaken, once more. I will need to check this, and I must admit that it is this variety very popular here in Ukraine. It is grown in many gardens here, and even people like to grow this variety in massive, in some borders variants, in some monolithic growing, or some places where this only variety, but a couple of bushes of it grown or grows. So yeah, one more beauty. And you see, because of what it is popular, because of its color, combination of color, you can see here different shades of yellow, and even apricot, and even orange yellow. It could be very intense at the beginning of flowering, and it could change based on weather conditions, based on the day of blooming. Of course, it became lighter and lighter, and bush, it is wholly covered with flowers. First of all, they are growing in pretty rich clusters, very rich, more than 10 in each of them. And of course all flowers are open, because there are some varieties like Larissa, and it does not open all the buds, all the flowers, because some of the buds, they are just fallen down, because I'm not sure, maybe this is it. It's a peculiarity of this variety that it could not open all the buds, but this one, Hansestadt Rostock, it could open, and it opens all the flowers in clusters, and they are not so long lasting if to speak about each separate flower, but if to speak about the general long lastingness of the way, it will be pretty long lasting. And of course it will be noticeable, and it is noticeable from far away. It is attractive, and it is it is also has pretty noticeable fragrance, from light to medium, not strong one, but pretty good felt. What to show you more? This is Crimean bread variety, Krymski somewhat sweet, but it is already finishing its blooming. This is Augusta Luise, also from Tantau, and it is also not always I could see its beauty. First wave or first flush, it could show the beauty, and it is most probably will be beautiful. But then it starts to grow it starts to be susceptible to different type of diseases, black spot, mildew, etc. And it then of course loses its attractiveness, and it became naked. Branches are naked completely, flowers deformated, and then you could not see its beauty. But first wave, first flush, it could show you this beauty. Very nice variety, very fragrant variety. Fragrance is pretty unusual. It's pretty fresh one, pretty strong one, and as you can see here, a lot of colors combined in one flower. More varieties are blooming. This is Constance by David Austin Roses from Wedding Roses series, one of my favorite one, because it blooms first of all, it blooms almost without any stop between flushes. Then another advantage of this flower is that it shows very nice combination of color, and even in one flower you could see lighter shades of pink or creamy pink, and darker, stronger or more intense shades of this color, and this is combined in one flower, and of course in one cluster, and of course it will be a little bit changing while flower is blooming. And bush itself, it produces a lot of branches, a lot of clusters as a result, and a lot of flowers as a result. So very nice and very positive blooming. And more beauties. Pashmina, one of my favorite, and one of the popular, I would say, here in Ukraine. This is Floribunda, and if I'm not mistaken, from Cordes Roses. And I have planted it back in 2020, and it is growing and growing here at the same place. It was very hardly influenced by frost. I'm not sure, but winter was very unsuccessful for it. I have to prune it very, very strongly, almost or maybe completely to the ground level, but still you can see that bush is very rich. It gave me many branches. Each branch, it ends in clusters of flowers. They are very rich, and all the flowers are opened. And even while we've had the previous week, we've had pretty humid, long-lasting and daily rains. We've had 18-19 degrees during the day. Of course, morning dew. It was very cold mornings there were. Still, you can see how attractive, how floristic it is. Clusters are so impressive. Flowers are so impressive. Of course, they are working, or they will work great for buckets, for floristic aims, for wedding, of course, or for any other anniversaries or events, celebrations, etc. Very nice one. Very long lasting. Flowers will be on the bush week easily, and I think, and as far as I remember, even more. I must admit that it does not susceptible to disease. Here in my garden, at least, I have not noticed any signs of mildew, although here neighboring bush, this is golden zest. I have to prune it already, of course, golden zest, and it is already, I see the signs of mildew. And as you can see, some of the branches, this is golden zest and this is Pashmina, and that yellow one, this is also golden zest. They are overcome, yeah, or crossing one another. But even if they are crossing one another, and here I also see the mildew, Pashmina will still not be susceptible and will not be influenced by this mildew or any other diseases. So I must admit that it is very, very stable one, and very good, nice showing. Concerning flowers, there are some concerns from my side and from our rose lovers here in Ukraine that it could be influenced by Varieties. This is also a very popular disease here in our region, in our climate, because if we have long-lasting humidity, this Varieties, it infects a lot of flowers, a lot of varieties like Miriam, like Indiholetta, and a lot more, of course, much more. And mainly it influences such type of flowers like this one, pretty tight one, pretty globular ones, which are not showing the middle, which are not opening completely. They are staying in the semi-open state for the whole blooming. And yeah, this Pashmina, it just perfect case for this and perfect choice for this disease, right? But as you can see, I do not apply any chemical pesticides. I only apply some biological pesticides, some biological microbes, not microbes, but yeah, some parts of mushrooms. Not sure whether this is mushrooms of this. But yeah, some treatment like biological, organical, etc. And it is still showing very good. If you apply chemical pesticides, it will show you even better, even nicer, and even much more perfect view like mine. This is golden zest, and nearby this one, and I have intentionally planted them together. That's a red one, this is piano. And as you can see how mistakenly was this choice by me. That Pashmina, it's twice less size in height of piano, even more than twice. Of course, if they were at the same level of height, it could be very, very nice and impressive picture. But let's go to piano. Piano, one of my favorite roses, and very often I receive the questions, which variety you would plant if you could do this, yeah. Which would you recommend to plant necessarily? I would suggest, of course, piano one. Why? Because it is very long lasting as well. It is pretty fast growing, it is pretty generous, it is pretty branchy, and it grows a lot of clusters of flowers. And all of these flowers, they are so attractive. They are so attractive in form, they are so attractive in color. They are so attractive in long lastingness, because they will be on the bush forever and forever and ever. Because there are some periods during the blooming when you think how long you will be still blooming. Maybe it's enough, maybe it's time to start growing next flush, but it is still blooming and blooming and blooming. And even late autumn it will be blooming, it will be showing beauty. Flowers, they are attractive, they are almost not influenced by weather conditions, but different weather conditions. Of course, here we can see some signs of long-lasting humidity here on this flower as well, but in general, attractiveness of the clusters, it is very high, it's very floristic, very nice looking. And bush itself, you can cut or you could cut flowers for yourself, and they will be as on the bush as in the vase. They will be also staying for pretty long. And I think I would do this because first, or not first, but earlier I did not practice to cut flowers from my garden to myself or for myself, but now I will do this because you hear from me and not from me. I hope that you are reading about Ukraine, that you are thinking about us, that you are taking a look from time, at least from time to time, what is going on here in our country. And yeah, I must admit that I have to make some joyful moments, some at least positive emotions to myself as well. And of course, a bucket of flowers, of such rich colored flowers, such rich and interesting form of flowers, they will definitely bring some joy, at least some not long-lasting but short-lasting joy, but still joy is joy. Thanks for your attention, thanks for listening. Please tell me about your varieties, which of mentioned by me you have planted, or maybe you have been thinking about planting some of them. I would be very grateful for your feedback, for your comments, of course, for any comments, for any activity under the video. Thanks for your attention. Till the next video, and bye.